What's up, Jaguars? This is Left Side of the Brain. Thought I would do another video. I did another video tonight. But what I want to speak about, this is a fun topic. We live inside of a clock. We live inside of a clock. What do you mean, left side of the brain? This is what I mean. Everything around you is a marker of time. Number one, you have the sun. Sunrise, sunset. That equals a day. Sunrise and sunset, that's a revolution of the earth. On top of that, you have the seasons. Winter, spring, summer, and fall. All designators of time, letting you know what time of the year it is based upon the change that you see in weather, the leaves changing color during the fall. All of this is just clockwork. Everything is clockwork. That's why they say it's nothing new under the sun. So that's why we're going to use the law of exceedings to enforce what I'm saying. Using nature itself, the sunrise, the sunset. And this enforces the illusion of difference. Because nothing is new under the sun. I just explained how we live in a clock. We revolve around just like the hands on a clock. The earth is spinning just like the hands on a clock. We live inside of a clock. Your heartbeat is like the ticking sound of a watch. Tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, tock. It's a designated amount of time that you have in this world. Everything is designated. It's a designated amount of time for how long the seasons will last. That's why it happens around the same time every year. The same time. The vernal equinox. The summer solstice. The spring solstice. When the length of the days are extended, and then around October 31st, the days are truncated, are shortened. This has been the way it's been. We live inside of a clock. So what does that mean? That destiny has already been fulfilled because it's a clock. The destiny of this clock that we live in has already been fulfilled because you already know after you count to one, what comes after one? Two. What comes after two? Three. What comes after four? Five. And so forth and so on. So if we live in a clock and everything is clockwork, it shouldn't be hard to figure these people out. That's why the illusion of difference, that's why they created the illusion of difference, to make you think that the same is not the same. So they just put a different face on the same thing, but it's still clockwork because we live inside of a clock. Everybody is a prophet because I can predict that after 2 o'clock, eventually the big hand And the small hand will create a 90-degree angle, and it will be 3 o'clock. Every day I can predict that. Every day I can look at my clock on the wall and say to myself that after 2:59 is going to be 3 o'clock. The small hand is going to move around, and it happens like clockwork, because destiny is mathematics. It's like counting, because we live inside of a clock. You see? Everything that takes place, it's a mathematical equation. For every action, there is a reaction. For every action, there is a reaction. If you throw a pebble into the water, see that water down there? If you throw a pebble into the water, it's going to be a reaction. It's going to create a ripple effect. So everything we do, it causes a ripple effect throughout space and time. That's why they say space and time in the first place, because we live inside of a clock. Everything is calculated. Everything is precise. What goes up must come down. That's everything in this physical world, that is. Let me make that clear. Everything in this physical world is inside of a clock. And everything that we see around us, it is the reaction of a previous action that took place. So nothing in this world is by coincidence. Everything is the result of an action that took place before the very thing that you see playing out before you. These two people you see in the camera walking towards, even that is a reaction to an action. Now somebody might say, well, what if you switch and change your mind and you do something else? You know what? It's still within the mathematics. It's still within the mathematics. It doesn't matter what you do. It's like saying 6 times 6 is 36. But now I want to subtract 3 from 36, which will equal 33. So whatever you do after that, now I'm gonna stack 33 dice up in a row, and I'm gonna push the first dice over, and 33 dice will fall flat and hit a ball at the end, and it rolls down like this ramp, like a machine or something. You ever seen one of those toys where it operates off of motion, and it might be like, how can I explain this? It's like it operates through kinetic energy, like a I know y'all know what I'm talking about. They sell toys like that. It might have a ball that you push, and it might hit another device that hits another device, and it keeps going and going. Kind of like the inside of a clock. You see what I'm saying? So even if you remove one of the catalysts, it doesn't change the fact that it's still based upon an action causing a reaction. So no matter what you do, it's built inside of a mathematical principle, the outcome. So that's why I deal with people the way I do, because I know the results of speaking to certain people. I know the outcome This is how I live life. I can feel things before I even do it. It's like, this is a movie. I've already seen it. But if I say something to somebody, I can expect the action from what I already felt would take place if I said such and such to this certain person. Knowing how this person is, I can already determine the outcome. So if I have a feeling about something, it remains a feeling. But if I initiate it, only thing I did was press play and brought it into reality. It's like speaking to somebody and then regretting that you spoke to them. You ever had it happen to you? Like, you may see a certain person in public that you know, but you want to avoid them because you know they might be long-winded, and you already know that if I speak to this person and I'm in a hurry, I only got 30 minutes to be somewhere, but if I say something to them, they're going to get me in this long conversation about nothing, and I'm going to have to try my best to get out of it without being impolite. One of them type of things. But if you would just listen to what you know about this person, you can avoid that person. But sometimes we will go against what we know, and then we just press play, and the feeling that we had, it plays itself out. That's how I live my life. It's like, this is a storybook and a clock, and whatever happens, I knew it would happen before I even pressed the button. That's what I'm saying. Like stacking up, like lining up dominoes in a row. You already know what will happen when you push the first domino. You already know that it's going to create a chain reaction, because it's science. And it's the same way when you deal with people. You already know certain things to say, certain things not to say. It will create a chain reaction. The potential of it is always there. That's why in science, they have two states of energy. Kinetic energy, which is energy in motion, and potential energy. What I'm saying is, the knowing, the foreknowledge that you have about something is the potential energy. But when you activate what you already knew would happen if you activated it, you turn the potential energy into kinetic energy. And that thing that you already knew would happen, it played itself out in real time. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? That's what I mean by we live in a clock and everything is clockwork, and you can see ahead in time. Like when you're staring at a clock on a wall, that's prophetic, because you already know the tick and the tock. You already know where it's going to lead based upon how the mechanics inside of the clock operate. You can see the little hand and the big hand moving before it even gets to the next spot, because it's clockwork. Just like this world, it's a clock. It's clockwork, which means what? That word clock is what? Locked. You are locked inside of this. The word clock means locked. You take the C off clock, you have lock. L-O-C-K. It's locked into this thing. It's locked into the script. It's clockwork. It doesn't change. See? And it really has a great effect when you on their time, when you on these slave plantations, on these jobs, you are on their watch. That's why they say you own our watch, because it's a clock. You ever heard somebody say, security watch, or the manager at the job who's over you, when you own his shift, You are on his watch. They say these little codes all the time. You got to be able to pick it up and decode the language. You are on their watch. This is a clock. You don't have but so much energy in this life. Our energy is dissipating every day. And energy can be recycled. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, even things that recycle have to be recycled again. Don't get me wrong. But energy is dissipating. It's like sand in an hourglass. People die because they run out of life force energy. Simple as that. You die, you take your last breath. Your sand, which I'm using to represent energy, it ran out. It ran out. It ran out from the top half of the hourglass, ended up in the bottom half. Now you want to come back into this world, then they flip you back over, and your sand drizzles down, and then they're gonna flip you back over. That's a cycle of flipping and flipping. But that's if you stay locked in their world. You can't escape this thing, but you escape it. You're doing it right now by actually listening to this information. It's unlocking the chains of their grip around you. Now, every time you listen to these videos, you are different. You are being changed from within. Because for a lot of you, you never heard this before. But now that you know it, your brain is firing neurons inside of you, creating new neuronic pathways inside of you. New escape routes inside of you, going into further dimensions of your mind. You see? That mind is a powerful thing, man. That's why I want to get into more study of the brain and how it operates. Because that mind, it's a powerful thing, man. That's why when you close your eyes, you can see within. Just imagine, you see out of your two eyes, but then when you close your eyes, you got another eye that's inside of you that can see inside of your dreams. That proves that we are spiritual. How can you see in your dreams and your eyes are closed? That's why when somebody is an atheist and all of that, I'll be like, them gotta be the stupidest people in the world, man. It's no way you can deny the existence of spirituality. I mean, you just gotta be stupid, man. An atheist is a stupid fool, man. It's just too much. And I did a video about that. And that's another thing too. Kind of getting off subject, but it's all good. Atheism is it's a doctrine that was created by the HPB system because they don't want you to believe that it's anything higher than them. They don't want you to believe that you can escape this. So they created atheism. No, there is no God. There is nothing higher than this. There is no spirituality. Everything is just taste, touch, hear, see, smell. They want you to believe that. I don't want to hear no united souls talking about you some atheist. There's no way you can be a united soul and an atheist. That's why you've never heard an atheist speak about the things we speak about on this channel. Because in his dimension, none of this don't exist. He wouldn't believe in a human prison bar system. He wouldn't believe in HPBs. He wouldn't believe in us versus them. You see? So if you have that worldview, you don't have he couldn't explain to you what is spirit, what is soul. He would say it's a theory. He wouldn't believe in it. And that's a trick of the enemy, because they're not going to put everything in books. They don't put everything in books. Before information is in a book, it's stored somewhere else. Where is it stored? It's stored inside of the person who wrote the book. So that means some information didn't make it in a book. That don't mean the information don't exist. You can't rely upon, oh, it's written in a book. You can't go by that all the time. Because before a book was written, again, the information was somewhere before it was even in the book. Before history was even what they call history, the people who they write about, they the ones who had to do the history before a history book can be written. We are the information. That's why I say the soul is the collection of information. So if you deny a soul, then where do you get, how would you know about this type of stuff? If you just relying on books, that's why I say the soul is a collection of information. So you cannot be taken off your path by these people out here, man. You can't listen to that foolishness. But I'm gonna end this video right here. Tell me what y'all think in the comment section. If I have to go further, I'll do that if you want me to. I think I covered it enough. But this left side of the brain signing out. Hit the likes button, hit the subscribe button, and we'll do this later. Peace out.